Hello, hello, beautiful person watching this. I am so happy that you're here. Welcome back to another Slay the Spire Ascension 20 Watcher run. Got a quick one. Typical Watcher win here. Hopefully something to learn if you're looking to win more often as the Watcher. Step 1 to winning as the Watcher is to find the lose max health for 2 card removes option. Click defend twice. And you're already like 90% to win. Act 1 will be easy peasy with so much damage. Cultist down and Tantrum on floor 1. Gonna take that. Get a transform as well. Click a defend. Get reach heaven, which is not amazing, but it's an attack for the early game, so better than a defend for sure. And gonna remove another thing here, and then I'm thinking about this halt for sure. Halt is like an actually really good block card. It's on sale. Take the halt. We have Tantrum, so we are going to be in Wrath often here. And it's nice to have that as an option to just gain 12 fast block. Halt is usually, you know, this early it's very questionable, but happen to have a very small deck and Tantrum already, so gotta adjust to the situation, of course. I take a concentrate as well. Sentries do exist. Didn't want to see a shop here, of course. Very bad question mark. And consecrate helps with sentries in particular. No potions, so taking that. And here is Laga. We are going to be drawing the Vigilance next turn, so I do open. Or we're likely to draw Vigilance anyway. Sometimes I take 40 here. It's a shame. And next turn we're drawing Tantrum, Reach Heaven, or through Violence rather. So it is dead with one more attack. And we get a Centennial Puzzle, which will draw us 3 cards the first time we take damage. That's pretty good. Trying to find the lethal here, but it would involve Strike killing one, which isn't possible. I draw. Now I find Consecrate, so now we can kill. Yeah, I didn't want to take the 7 here, it seems. These are trash. Gotta skip those. And we get a Vajra. 1 extra strength is huge, especially with the Tantrum. Still upgrade the Eruption. Eruption is so much worse without an upgrade, and the other cards are not demanding upgrades. I'm gonna get a question mark. This is a Regal Pillow, which will heal us for more when we rest. I'm considering skipping it. I actually do skip it. Feeling so confident that we're not going to even need to rest this run. And if we do, just a normal rest will be fine. So hoping for something that actually makes number in fight. And you can actually kill the middle guy here and strike the right guy. So 2 sentry kills on turn 1, thanks to the power of Tantrum plus Consecrate. And we can win on this turn. So the power of having such a high density of damage as the Watcher, when you have 2 sources of Wrath, you want to make sure you're drawing that damage. More trash here, unfortunately. No need for the Flying Sleeves anymore, we have plenty of damage already. And second Consecrate, same thing. So it could split here or not. It's probably a fine split. Would have taken 4 otherwise. I do go into Calm here just to gain more energy this turn. Possibly wrong, but it actually ended up being fine here because we drew 3 attacks, 4 energy worth of stuff. I forgot to mention Blood Vial. That is going to give us 2 health in every fight. Upgraded the Tantrum, extra good with the Vajra. Almost terrible draw, but found the Reach Heaven there. That's pretty good. So this is very unfortunate. A very awkward draw here. If I go into Wrath and pass, I will take 72 damage, which is going to kill us. And Vigilance at the bottom is very sad. So I do have this Ambrosia, which will put us in Divinity. But then if I play a Wrath card afterwards, then it takes us out. and into Wrath, and I can't get out again. So I have to play the Wrath cards first, and then Ambrosia to get out of Wrath, then play the other cards to not die here. I think just skipping there was like a little bit sus, although may have been fine. But just wanted to make sure we get out here. And now we can stay in Wrath. We have Halt. No worries. So insanely fast Hexaghost kill. Is that turn 4 or 3? I think it was turn 4. And our deck is so small, and all of our good cards are already upgraded, that I actually skip here over clicking Lesson Learned. The awkwardness of, you know, trying to find the Lesson Learned and having to draw this bad 2-cost attack, I thought wasn't worth having it in the deck to upgrade the strikes and whatnot. Though it may have been correct, and like most of the time I'm clicking Lesson Learned there, it's very strange to not do that for sure. Lesson Learned's a good card. But unlike Feed, there is a cap. You can actually upgrade every card in your deck. And upgrading the basics is not super important. So I want shops for more removes and to try to find a rush down from a store. There is always a power in the store, and therefore unusually high chance of finding rush down. Goodbye, Spheric Guardian. There's a Crush Joints Plus, which I definitely considered here. I don't remember if I take it. I don't think that I do. It's not really necessary. But it looks good. But this is the sort of the secret sauce for playing the Watchers, just not to get baited by any card you don't need. Even if it, like, sounds good. And Fairy in a Bottle, that's going to be huge. Some insurance for if a fight goes terribly wrong. And look at this shop. Now these are cards. Have enough damage, considering moving a strike. I do. And Inner Peace and Mental Fortress are both here. Mental Fortress, a block solution for the entire run. And Inner Peace, a 1-cost commentary and card draw. All in one. The absolute turbo nuts. Considering not buying Mental Fortress, we are going to another shop. But because Rushdown is more important than Mental Fortress for sure. But it's just too good to skip. For sure. You gotta know what the good cards are. There's like 10 really, really good Watcher cards. And most of them are uncommon. Scrawl is like the only one that's rare. And Vault. Shout out to Vault. There are more than 10 really good Watcher cards, but there are 10 to 15 cards that are so insane that they like skyrocket your chance to win just by finding them. And often you need like a collection of them for it to be really insane. Just Inner Peace by itself is whatever, but you take Inner Peace, Rushdown, and Tantrum, and suddenly it's absolutely disgusting. And Omamori is here, which will prevent the next 2 curses we find. Hopefully we can find some curses for some benefit. And look at that. Get to rob this guy. And we get a Darkstone Periapt, which will give us 6 max health whenever we get a curse. Unfortunately, not what we were looking for. I actually think it should interact like that. Like, you get the curse and then Omamori prevents it after you get the curse, so that you still get the benefits of Darkstone Periapt, you know? That could have been a thing. And nice having the Reach Heaven here, a little bit of reliable damage to play on a Wrath turn. Get the draw. I'm concerned about this because if I can't kill after I draw, then I might die. I found the lethal. And Whetstone was here. I did not mean to click it before looking at the cardboard. That's okay though. Could have considered taking Cut Through Fate there, actually. But again, I'm keeping the deck small. Upgrade the Mental Fortress. Pretty stinky hand. And we got an Akabeko, by the way. It's going to increase the damage of our first attack each fight by 8. And that happened to get us a kill on turn 1 there with the power of Tantrum multi-hit, kind of multiplying the 8 damage from the Akabeko, which is really strong. Can kill the gremlins on turn 1 here, even without Akabeko. And this is mildly spooky. I have 4 energy because of Slaver's Collar, so I'm considering staying in Wrath, but I don't. Would have been correct in hindsight. Never mind, I drew. Probably had lethal there. Gonna be honest, it was close for sure. And we get a War Paint, upgrading 2 random skills. This time I remember to check my pile first, or my card ward rather. And there's Rushdown, so gonna be skipping the card ward, or a card remove here. Also considering buying a Wallop, but with Mental Fortress and Halt Plus, there's no need probably. And the bandits are here. A little bit weird here, I remember. Like, I want to play Rushdown. I want to take damage also because of Centennial Puzzle. I actually do this, and then now we're getting Dark Shackles, which will prevent the damage for that guy, so I actually stay in Wrath now. Not worry about it. And hopefully kill Bear next turn. Wow, what a turn. That was really good. That strike is dealing 20 damage, man. And we get our Red Mask, applying 1 weaken at the start of each combat. And yeah, every card in our deck is upgraded almost, without Lesson Learned. I Strength Pod against the Mighty Champ. Decide not to go in Wrath. A little bit spooky. Didn't need to play that. Knew I was drawing, so it was good anyway. And we're almost infinite, as you can see. We have a Curse in our hand and a Through Violence. So if we can... Right now, we would have to do it on the Centennial Puzzle turn, or else we can't draw enough cards to fill our hand. So right now I'm just stacking up Through Violences in my hand, and I'll just kill it in 1 turn by going to Wrath and dealing 200 damage or whatever. That's the game plan. There's a lot of... the champ is such an interesting fight because sometimes you literally cannot win the fight, but then sometimes you find that a card you took sort of like just randomly is really good against the champ, you know? There's a lot of cards like that. More than you would expect anyway. And we get 2 energy relics, or good old Astrolabe, of course. So Curse Key looks really strong, of course. We have Omamori. But the thing is, we don't actually need really more energy. We're playing the Watcher, and we have Slaver's Collar already. So the 3 transforms to get rid of our last 3 basics just seems really, really good. And we may find a curse to, you know, do stuff anyway. And we found Study Plus, which is pretty interesting. Not only is that a power, which is not a real card, so -1 real card for going towards the infinite, which is good. It also may allow us to go infinite because of the fact that we can use the Insight just to draw 2 cards on any turn we want. And that could be pretty valuable. That's a little bit slow, though. You know, you have to find the study, then you have to put the study in play. You have to wait a turn to draw the thing. Might even have to wait 2 turns. So we definitely need a little bit more card remove here. There's a second Mental Fortress, but real ones know that it is unnecessary in a very small deck situation. Ragnarok plus Akabeko is pretty good, considering playing Consecrate first, but that's wrong. actually kind of a bummer. Could consider using Energy Pot. I do. I don't. I take the 8. It's fine. Trash cards next. Here is Mind Bloom. Unfortunately, only one Omori charge left. Can't take the 909 gold. That's okay though. Poor Slime Boss, man. Watcher destroys Slime Boss in Act 1. This is just... Why would they do this to my boy? Type stuff, you know? And we get Ice Cream, which will preserve all energy in between turns. Pretty exciting. Generally speaking. It doesn't do a lot here, unfortunately. Woof. That's a bad hand. Gonna take 12. And we could go infinite there, for sure, if I played Inner Peace first. But no need, of course. Definitely get a card remove here. Trash everywhere. Master of Strategy is really good. Actually, I was considering Master of Strategy to be sure. What to remove here? Reach Heaven or Ragnarok? Consecrate costs 0, which makes it unusually good. Also, the Reach Heaven giving us the card into our deck is actually bad now because it's preventing us from drawing our whole deck and going infinite. So I do remove Ragnarok after all, it's just too expensive. Our whole deck is upgraded without Lesson Learned. That's probably a first for me. I don't think I've ever had my entire deck upgraded without Lesson Learned. And here is the worst part of the run right here. This is not what you want to see. A really bad draw on turn 1 of the Nemesis as the Watcher with a small deck, and it's giving you burns on turn 1. That is the nightmare. And into the 45 hit on turn 2. This is as bad as it gets for sure. Certainly the case that I'm dead here without the Fairy in a Bottle. And I mean, if you're doing this, you have to have some solution for this, so... if you find like a draw pot or whatever, you hold on to it with your life, Fairy in a Bottle, etc. Some way to win or not die to this fight is really important, because this is the fight for the Watcher. If you're doing this, that will kill you. It just doesn't do well when like literally half of your deck is burns or more. After all the powers and exhaust cards are gone, this deck does not do well. I need to find this Vigilance here or I'm dead. So I go for it. I whiff. That's actually unlucky as well. Could have saved the Fairy here if I had just drawn better. Empty Fist in there as well. Kind of brutal. And we get a Kunai. That'll give us 1 dexterity every time we play 3 attacks in 1 turn. We're not really blocking with cards that block. We're blocking with Mental Fortress, so also unexciting here. That's unfortunate. Definitely hesitant about going into Wrath here, but found the Vigilance. Wouldn't have died anyway, we had the Halt. Halt quite good there. The Dexterity plus Halt is pretty good, it's just that that's not how we're really blocking anymore, so. But it could matter in a really fast fight. And Fear No Evil plus is there, but we already have Inner Peace, so there's no need to take it. Bottle Flame is here, but there's no attack that we really want. We want to find Rush Down Mental Fortress. Most of all. And Study. All the powers. Sure. So I could take 9, or I could take 13 and go into Wrath and do some damage. So I do that instead. A little bit spooky, but not too big of a difference there damage-wise, really. And I've managed to go infinite because this is the Centennial Puzzle turn. Gonna skip ahead a little bit here so you don't have to watch. Be right back. And we're back. Get a frozen egg. Gonna upgrade all future powers. Oh, we've already found all of our powers, so that might not be good either. So whiffing a bit on the relics here for sure. Like, they look good. On other characters or in other situations, they'd be good, but we are doing this thing instead. Considering playing Vigilance or not. Playing Anti-Fist instead, perhaps. But no reason to do that. And I can go infinite against the Transient, so we have a small enough deck now that if we draw the Inner Piece as our natural draw, then we can play Inner Piece, which will draw our whole deck, and then play Tantrum to redraw the Inner Piece, and then we're off. That's how we get going. So just gonna try to go infinite against the Transient here. Each turn. And unfortunately, the real downside of Inner Piece is that it doesn't do damage like Fear No Evil does, and Fear No Evil does damage while you're in Wrath. So it's doing most of the damage when you are going infinite if you have it. So the infinite goes way slower if you are using Inner Piece to do it, which is a bit of a bummer. But it's also more reliable because you can do it on any turn and not only the turns where you're being attacked. So it has its pros and cons, of course. The going slower thing isn't a real downside, which makes Inner Piece better. Fear No Evil will still suffice if you don't have either. And we get the Insights in our hand as well, just to make sure that we get there. So we've done it. Transient's down. I'm BMing a little bit here. I could just play Reach Heaven, Empty Fists, and pass. And we get trash next. Gonna get a card move again. Gotta make sure you have few enough cards that you can even infinite against the Heart, because the Heart gives you 2 permanent status cards. Gotta keep that in mind. You can't just be like, well, I'm infinite, so I'm good, because then you get some status and you're like, whoops, I'm not good. So the Reach Heaven finally goes. We're in hell. Getting the Ascender's Bane, unfortunately. It's like a 50-50 chance to draw it, actually, on turn 1. That's kind of crazy. And we are infinite. So this is how easy it is to go infinite now. We can just draw Inner Piece, and then we're infinite, basically. Once again, I will be skipping ahead. Be right back. And we're back. Skip those. It's rest. Already took the key, apparently. Good on me. So a little bit trickier to go infinite against these guys because they make dazes. Kind of a lot of good cards at the bottom. I actually do a little bit of a risk there, perhaps. Wouldn't have died, but that was kind of spooky. Inner Piece not in there, so just gonna play the Study this turn and hope it works out. And definitely holding on to this Gambler's Brew for dear life, because against the Heart, we might have the turn 2 where we just draw 5 statuses and die. So gotta make sure we can gamble that hand. Can also choose, if possible, or realistic, to keep Centennial Puzzle for turn 2 and then draw 3 that turn, which is going to be pretty good. I don't know what I do exactly, but I get there somehow. And we are infinite, by the way, so gonna skip ahead here. And we're back. And we're against the Time Eater. I bet you weren't expecting that. viewer, how can this deck possibly beat the Time Eater when its entire plan is to go infinite? Am I right, guys? Like, this is the thing. This wouldn't actually be really broken if Time Eater actually beat this deck. But it doesn't, because Mental Fortress exists. And Abacus exists as well, but you don't always find that. But yeah. A little bit silly that you can just do this and, like, Time Eater is there literally to beat this deck in theory, and it just doesn't. It's kind of crazy. Not complaining though. This is a great game. It's just one of those things where it's like, I love playing the Watcher actually, but sometimes Watcher haters are justified, and this is one of those situations. So the slimes and the -1 draw making it a bit awkward here, but still managing to find a way through. Thanks to the study, actually. The study has been pretty cute. Could split here. Decide not to. Trying to go for the kill over 2 turns here if possible. It's really hard without Fear No Evil though. Like, you're just, if you're alternating Tantrum Inner Peace, it's just not enough damage with 12 card plays to kill Time Eater in 2 turns, so just not happening probably. And gotta go into Calm to be able to play Inner Peace, to be able to draw, to go infinite. So I could just pass here, there's no way we're doing the damage, yeah. It's fine. And then Inner Peace is on top. And now that we're here, we can end the turn by playing multiple attacks in Wrath, hopefully. Make it a little bit faster. Like this. Being a little bit careful here. The snail is scary, still. Not trying to disrespect the big man. I was already in Calm, I did not need to play that. That's a mistake. Eruption is more damage than Consecration also, right? By like 2 or whatever. Should be playing that instead of Consecrate. Consecrate does cause 0 though. I was like trying to preserve energy for some reason, but I have Ice Cream. It doesn't make any sense. I have infinite energy essentially. Should be dead here. So a bit of a slog, but we've done it. The snail is dead. Salted, in fact. And on to Act 4, to thump. Deep Pulse and Dread. $30 minutes, pretty good time. Probably even less for you guys, because I edited some stuff. That's crazy. Alright, so we've got potions here. There's a stance pot, which is essentially drawing 2 cards and or getting us out of Rat that we needed to. So, gonna trade the energy pot for that for exactly enough gold. Thanks, game. And this is a little bit spooky. We could full block here, but we have Puzzle. And it would involve getting out of Calm. So, both of those things are bad. So we're gonna take 6, and we're gonna draw 3 extra cards, which should let us go infinite on turn 2 here. Hopefully. Could play Eruption, actually. Drew the Inner Peace anyway, never punished. Eruption would not go back on top of the draw pile, which would make it more likely to draw the Inner Peace. That was optimal, but I did not do that. Still got lucky though. Could have also used Gambler's Brew, but again, that's really... we really want that for the hearts, so would have been bad. Had to get a bit lucky here anyway, but could have maximized it. And I'm going to let the Infinite play out here against Act 4. Act 4 deserves some respect. We can't be skipping on those guys. It'll all be over soon. Parentheses, comfortingly. And we find Nunchaku, which will give us 1 energy every 10th attack we play. Again, not doing absolutely anything here. Just doesn't really matter here. So you can play Halt to gain 4 block, down to 2 block, and then play one other card, get into column here, and keep the puzzle. So we can play Rush Down, see what we draw. This is where it gets tricky. It all comes down to this. So if I shuffle away the Void, then I'll have to draw it again when we'll lose energy. That's bad. But can get rid of everything else. Even Consecrate. Consecrate's not doing anything. That's a great hand. Can go Vigilance, Inner-Peace. But then we have no Calm exit. Or a Wrath exit, rather. Play the Halt. I do have the Stance Pot, though, so I'll probably do that. Go Vigilance, Inner-Peace, Eruption. Now there's... Oh, we actually always did, because we drew 2 from the Eruption, so we'd always find Empty Fist. So this was safe, actually. Get rid of the Slime. Should be playing Study over Slime here, if I'm thinking about, like, choosing between them. But I imagine I just play both. Could have played Tantrum, but I didn't want it in my draw pile, actually. I wanted to draw different cards. And this is where it gets a little bit spooky, for sure. Can go Infinite here, I think. Yep, so we have done it. Now we have to get a little bit, you know... I don't know if lucky is the word, but we have to finesse this a little bit because we need to make sure we can continue to go Infinite on the future turns. The Heart is a different animal. You can't just kill it in one turn like the rest of the game. Get it to the damage threshold. Gain a bunch of decks. Maybe it was correct to put Tantrum in the deck, but again, the important thing is drawing the Inner Peace before entering Wrath so we can draw 4 cards. And then we're infinite, so. Tantrum always being the first card we draw is actually bad, because that means we're only getting 4 hits on the Inner Peace. So we did find the Vigilance, so now we can dig for the Inner Peace with Wrath. We did. There we go. It feels very cool, like, abusing the stance swap stuff. It does. Say what you want about the balance. Boy, is it fun. And I don't care about going infinite. Feels cool. For all you aspiring infiniters out there, if you have Tantrum, because Tantrum goes on top of your deck, it'll always be in the first position, so you can place your fingers in, like, in this case, I guess it's 9-8, and then just always 9-8, 9-8, 9-8. But if you have Eruption, sometimes you'll draw it second, which is annoying. And you have to, like, react. Although, if you have an Ink Bottle, that draw can actually mess up the order of Tantrum even. So you've got to be careful out there. So I'm willing to take the damage here to draw first, because I know that if I do, I'll go infinite. Also, still have the stance pot. So worst case, if we had the draw with Wrath to find the inner piece, we could just stance pod into calm and then draw, and we're good. So it's nice to have these like panic button type potions that really actually do something. You might not need them, but you'll be happy if you do need them, that you have them. There's inner piece. I play halt for 18 block with no wrath. That's pretty good. And we've done it. Gotta go through the motions one last time. I've been here before. I've done it in 37:40. Pretty underwhelming relic bar. We had some really good early ones with the Vajra and the puzzle. Omamori did do something. It got us a Darkstone Periapt. That's huge. And yeah, honestly, just the deck was good, and we built it well. Nemesis almost killed us, but Fairy Nobile saved us. And that was pretty much it. If you're still here, how have you not subbed? How have you not liked the video? Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, have a beautiful day.